you're like me, you're on LinkedIn, and this is probably what's happening to you. You go into the platform, you look at people who are trying to connect with you, you see a little bit about them, and you accept these connection requests. But as soon as you accept that connection request, you know exactly what's going to happen. Ding, ding, ding. You're going to get a pitch from somebody to buy something. But does that work? And are you happy with that? I'm going to tackle in this episode what I think need to happen and how you can go about fixing that. Delete. Shoot, delete that one too. Serious? Financial help? Come on, man. Delete. Hey, everyone. Welcome to another great episode of the Sales Evangelist Podcast. I'm your host, Donald C. Kelly, the Sales Evangelist, and I'm so excited for another great episode. I'm so excited to be here with you today. On this episode today, we're on LinkedIn, and I'm pumped and I'm excited. As you know, LinkedIn is one of the tools that I talk a lot about because I've seen tremendous success from LinkedIn. LinkedIn literally is a gold mine. The challenge that I find is that because it's a gold mine and because there's so many opportunities there, that most salespeople, whenever they get a chance to get on that platform, they exploit it to get that opportunity, but they're doing it wrong. It's kind of like, imagine this is 1849. The gold rush is going on. Many of us are going to California, so to speak, and we're trying to hit gold. We're trying to hit the big one and get some gold. But the problem that we're doing is that we're all going to the same mine and we're doing the same exact approach. There's another way that you could take advantage of LinkedIn. And I want to talk about this problem, though, that's pervasive. And then I'm going to give you some insights on this episode and then the following episode as well. So you come back and watch and listen to the next one, but between both of them, I'm going to give you some ways of how you can best utilize LinkedIn and to find a greater success. But while we're here, I want to give a big shout out. There are a few people that connected with me recently. I want to just give them a shout out. One of them is Marcin. Thank you so much for connecting with me on LinkedIn. I appreciate that. Had some good dialogues with you. Adria, thank you so much for connecting with me. I appreciate you finding a podcast on Spotify. I'm glad it's benefiting you. Want to give a shout out as well to Tim. Appreciate the connection request engagement there. Appreciate that. David, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for connecting with me. Sonny, the man. Leanne, appreciate that. Thank you so much. If you'd like to connect with me, I'll give you a shout out as well. Go ahead and connect with me on LinkedIn. Send me a message. Donald C. Kelly. Again, Donald C. Kelly. Kelly. All right. So here's the thing. I did a poll on LinkedIn the other day, and I'm going to read this poll to you. I think it's important that you guys get some real understanding of data. The question that I had at hand is how many people are frustrated with the current process, because I just don't feel, I feel like it can't work. Like, it's just obviously, it's obvious to me that it's happening, and I know it's obvious to you, and clearly it's obvious to these other people. And I get it that everyone feels LinkedIn is a gold mine, but everyone is just doing this literally the same thing on the platform and thinking that they're special, that they're unique. And I talked a little bit about this the other day, but I figured I had to go deeper in the episode because of the data that came back from this poll. So I did this poll. I believe I had over 300 engagement on this post. 300 individuals voted. I tell you exact numbers right now. Over 316 as of today. 316 people voted in the poll, and we still have it going. Now, the question I had was, when you accept a connection request, what percentage of them pitches you in the next possible communication? Now, the options were 80 to 100%, and the response so far has been about 30% of people said that's the case, of respondents. 50 to 80%, another 30% said that. 30 to 50%, only 11% in that category. Less than 30% of them pitch in the next possible communication, and that's about another 30%. So the stat was very interesting, but if you add up the top 50%, so between 50 to 100% of the time, you're going to get a pitch on the next possible communication. 60% of respondents said that's the case. Now, let's just think about that. 60% of the people said that if they accept a connection request from someone, more than likely in the next communication, they're going to get a pitch. If that's not a problem, I don't know what else is. Now, the issue again, because LinkedIn is a gold mine and so many people are using it wrong, we're finding that folks like this, these prospects, are getting ticked off. And when they're getting ticked off, they're not, it's just hurting everyone across the board, because what typically happens is we just feel because people are on LinkedIn and they match our ICP, we get this idea that that gives us the authority at this point to be able to pitch them to buy our solution. And I just don't feel, I just don't get it when people think like the buyers are on LinkedIn or these prospects on LinkedIn are just idiots. Like, it's either that, like, you'd probably just think that just, not you, but I'm just thinking that they think the prospect is an idiot and this prospect is just, I don't know, like you go back to that. There's a show out there called, I can't remember the name of the show. I haven't watched it yet, but the whole Apple TV is a surrogate, or basically when you shut off from work, and then you start, somebody's going to message me on LinkedIn, tell me the name of it. I'm going to think about it probably, and I'll respond a little bit later on. But they shut off from work, and they go to work and they in one mode, and then when they get out, they shut off, and yeah, blah blah blah. You get the point. I can't remember the exact name, but go ahead and tell me what it is. But the point is, I think so many people think of the prospects like that, like you're a machine, like they're just an idiot marketing director that's going to buy from me. And I hate to say it in that sense, but I feel that's what people think. Like, if I send them a message, they're just going to just bite on it and they're going to want to do business with me. Or they may think it the other way, that everybody wants what I have. So just another category. So I'm going to pitch everyone because everyone needs what I have, and I'm the best person to help them. And if your confidence is that high, fantastic. But the reality of the situation is that more than 60% of the respondents said more than 50% of the time they're going to get pitched. What do you think their behavior is when they get that? It's a delete. It's not a response to you. It's to unfollow, to not connect with you, to drop you as a connection, to block you. Like, that happens. But the thing that we do as sellers, people who think that the prospect's an idiot or everyone wants what they have to offer, or just because we're out there and we're just desperate and we just want to get something. So it's a third category. But what typically happens at that point, we just feel that if the only way that this is going to work is if we increase the volume. So instead of me sending out X amount, and this is why LinkedIn had put the tether on it, some of us will go back and say, well, I'm going to automate this process, and I'm just going to send out the maximum amount of invite of messages and pitches in a day. And you're going to probably have the odds in your favor that if you send out a whole lot, that you're going to start getting maybe ones or twos. And that is the false belief now, because you get ones and twos, then you might say, well, this thing works. This is what it does. But listen, you are just abolishing you're blowing up all these relationships. And then what you're doing as well, you're damaging the whole atmosphere for everyone else. And the other part about this, it's kind of like, I don't want to get all political, but it just seems like it's, I don't know. It's yeah. I'm not even going to get there. But send me a personal DM and I'll tell you what I was thinking. But the point that I feel is happening at this point is that we're polluting everything just for the short-term win, hoping that we can get by. But in actuality, we're damaging ourselves. We're damaging the whole industry. We're damaging our company. We're damaging our career. We're damaging your market share. It's just not going. It's just finite. There's not enough people that you can just go and do this to everyone and expect that you're going to continue to find success. And this is the frustration that we see. And this is why 30% of respondents said that they know they're going to get a pitch and they're probably going to delete your message. And over 60%, about 60% of them said more than 50% of the time they're going to get a pitch, and they are turned off by that. Now, if that's I want to set the stage for the problem that we have in our industry right now when it comes to LinkedIn. And that, my friend, is not good. But why did I start off this episode to say that LinkedIn is working, though, for me? Why did I start it off to say this? Now, the pieces I'm going to tell you here, if I'm just being straight with you, it is not going to be that dumb approach to pitch to everybody. It just doesn't work. It's not going to work. It never does work. And if you're looking for the ones and twos and to blow up all the contacts and to get blacklisted from LinkedIn, then by all means continue that. Delete this episode. Don't listen to it. But for those who are trying to get more success on LinkedIn, here's what I will tell you to do. I'm going to share some stats first before I go into the point. Hopefully I established that pretty well. Did I make sense on that? All right. So just overall, we're peeing in a pool and getting things mixed up, right? So here's what LinkedIn, some stats that I found. Content consumption. 38% of users aged 30 to 49, so that's that millennial range, and that are using LinkedIn, some of your buyers, your champion, your executive buyers, consider LinkedIn their primary source for latest news. One more time, 38%, so let's round it up to 40% of users are in that age group of 30 to 49, consider LinkedIn a primary source for latest news. Company research, 60%, 67% of companies have profiles on LinkedIn, make it a valuable source for professionals to research potential employers or business partners. And then I want to show you this other stat. Networking. Approximately 84% of LinkedIn users utilizes the platform to strengthen their professional networks. Now, what does that mean? They want to grow the number of people they have and so forth, their influence. Why are people even on LinkedIn? I want to give you several key areas. One, they want to build that professional relationship. Two, they're looking for insights. Go back to that 39%, that 40%. They're trying to get the latest news. They're coming for industry insights and learning. Maybe it's a career opportunity. Number four is a big one: solving business problems, engaging with thought leaders. This is a way you can get proximities. If say I'm in I don't know, like say the fire industry, fire insurance, there's probably an industry thought leader that I can get close proximity to or get insights from, or some of the executives that are top in the industry. I can be there and to be able to connect with them and to get some thought leadership, and to follow them and just be close to influencers. And then obviously some potential vendors. So all of those are there. But the main thing that I found in my research is that people are coming to LinkedIn because they're trying to get your buyers, they're trying to get answers, they're trying to solve problems, they're trying to get news. I'm just telling you straight up here. So if that's the case, ladies and gentlemen, what should you do? Here are a couple ideas that you could take advantage of. In the next episode, I'm going to go a little deeper on some of those. But the first thing that I would tell you is that you need to communicate with these individuals. They're looking for some kind of communication when they accept your connection request. Nobody accepts the connection request and they're saying, I am waiting for you to pitch me. Like, I am just going on LinkedIn today and I'm so excited for all the pitches I'm going to get. Let me go accept them and get the pitch. Said no one ever. So if they're not saying that, then why in the world are they connecting with you? One, they want to build their network. Two, maybe just to get insights and so forth. But the problem that I find is that we are so eager to get that appointment and to get that deal closed that we abandon all of that and we go straight in for the kill. But if they're on here, this is a strategy. On a phone call, definitely do that. On your email, definitely do that. But when you're on LinkedIn, for the love of everything that's holy, stop doing the dumb pitches. So here's what I would tell you: communicate with homeboy or communicate with homegirl. What I would do is, that point, if they kept accepting my connection requests, I would then start a dialogue. I might say something to the nature of, "Hey, thank you so much for connecting with me. I appreciate that. Connect back with them. Saw that you're in Milwaukee. Saw that you're in Denver. Saw that you're in Alabama, or or somewhere in Alabama, in Montgomery. Like I saw. You just give them some kind of connection back, because the human beings are looking to network. They're trying to build their community. A lot of people have a have a lot of LinkedIn connections, but they have no connection to those people. But remember, they're not just these individuals that are just aimlessly doing work, and that they're just this. I don't know, a dumb prospect waiting to bite on the hook of your value proposition. They are actually human beings with lives. So I might look at this person from Montgomery, Alabama, and start a dialogue around that. I could say something simple: "Hey, appreciate a connection request." And this is where I make the human to human connection, because most of you are not going to do it. So I'm going to send an audio message at that point when they connect with me. I'm going to say something like, my wife, Severance is the name of the show. I just had to look it up because it kept coming back. So thanks for that, Severance. But my wife and my family and I went to Montgomery, Alabama, when we did a civil rights movement tour. It was absolutely amazing. You have a rich history in that city. Anyways, next time I'm there, any restaurants or places you recommend I go visit. But that would get some human being on the other end to say, yeah, this person likes my city. Let me start a dialogue with them. Am I trying to pitch? My profile is going to pitch for them, by the way. And we talk about that in my LinkedIn prospecting course. But the profile, your top, your headline defines who you are, and the banner. If you go look at mine right now, you'll see it, that who I help, talk about who I help and what I help them with, the industry and so forth. We help sales leaders and we help them with the build pipeline, and sales reps, B2B sales professionals to build pipeline. So you can read that and easily see it. Then when you come down to my headline, you can see some things that help validate that claim and gives you more credibility. And then it just gives you an opportunity to know who I am. You could come and buy if you want. We're not there yet, but at least I'm starting the dialogue with, starting a conversation with you. What I do from that point is engage. I purposely look for opportunities where there's a likelihood of me getting somebody to respond, and that person possibly is interested in that banner explanation, that they're a B2B sales rep looking to build pipeline. So I go to follow hashtags of places where people are talking about sales. I also go to where people are talking about problems. So are there groups? I also go to where people are talking in general. So like if there are any type of industry, posts that addressing the topics, I engage on those, because when I do, I get popped up in those platforms, in those posts. Most people are not going to comment, by the way, so that's one way to stand out. So I'm going to find places where it's popular, people are having conversation. I'm going to comment. This is not like rocket science stuff. You can do this spend it for like 15, 20 minutes a day doing this and you're good to go. But I'm going to do that in type of engagement. And then I'm going to just people that I connect with, I'm going to have dialogue with them. That's what I'm going to do. Easy. The third thing that I would tell you that I would do after, if I'm on LinkedIn and that's been working for me, is I'm going to share content, because go back to the stat that most people are here to get insights, right? And a lot of them are here to get insights, to get latest news, to get knowledge, to be in proximity to influencer. I'm not telling you to become an influencer and whatnot, but you can be on LinkedIn platform in your niche and share stuff that's going to help people. The thing that I would tell you that you need to share that's going to really grab your prospects' attention is to go back to your previous conversations with prospects and listen to and see what are the top 10 things they usually bring up. That is going to be gold when it comes to content that people are wanting, because that's the thing that most of your prospects who are researching or looking or open to insights are looking for. They want people who can answer questions and to share stuff they haven't thought about. All of those lead to the end. Now I'll tell you what that end is. If somebody is engaged, say my post is like, for me, let's say 10 LinkedIn mistakes that salespeople make. If I do a post on that, or my biggest, how I close the biggest deal utilizing LinkedIn, if I post on that, and then I see that you now, as a prospect of mine or a potential prospect, come and engage on that post, you comment on that post, that's where you start to gain some more opportunities. So what I do, if you engage on the post, I go look at the people who engage, and then I see who are my ICPs. And then I connect with those individuals and I start dialogue. I'm not going to pitch them, but it's very easy at this point, because I just brought the pain to life. I brought the issue at hand to existence, gave some word to it, so to speak, some life to it, and then you start to engage on that. Like I attract you to it because you're on LinkedIn to do what? I said it earlier. The prospects on LinkedIn, because they're trying to gain insights, they're trying to get latest news. LinkedIn is going to put this up in the algorithm to people who are, maybe searching for stuff because of the way that I put a couple hashtags on that bad boy and because of the engagement that I'm having on it. So LinkedIn is putting this up into my prospects, in my prospects world. Now I don't have to go out and guess who may be interested. I just have, let's say I have 20 people who engaged on that post, and I have 10 people who commented on that post. Of the 10 people who comment on it, let's say 4 of them are VPs of sales. Who in the world should I send a connection request to? Those 4 VPs of sales I'm going to start off with. And I'm going to tell them, hey, Mary, saw that you engaged on my post. Brenda, thank you so much for engaging on my post about LinkedIn, permission to connect here on LinkedIn. They're going to say yes, but I'm not going to pitch them. But I'm going to start the dialogue. And then I'll say, out of curiosity, what are your thoughts what were your what something that I might get them. So let's say, go back to the post about how to gain close the biggest deal on LinkedIn. Say, out of curiosity, what are some of you have you closed any what are some of your tips for closing deals on LinkedIn as well? Always looking for good content, but I'm just engaging. Or I might ask, what attracts you to that post? I'm always looking for ways that I can make sure that I'm sharing great content. Now, some of you are going to shut this off and say, well, Donald, that's too much work already. Well, then fine, this is not going to be for you. But if you're wanting to use LinkedIn, and please get me understand, I'm not, you see some of my content. I use the phone and I use email, but I'm also using LinkedIn. And the play you use on LinkedIn, it is definitely not the dumb email play, because I know people who don't even read their emails. So if you're going to say, I got emails, I got 200 of them, I'm going to send it out, it don't work. It does work, but it's not going to work if you do it the same way you do emails. And it's definitely not going to be the same way if you just do it like you do phone calls. They're different platforms. So respect the mediums. So if you're on LinkedIn, do this, engage with those individuals. And then you're going to see that naturally those people are going to engage back with you. You're going to say, well, Donald, yeah, I'm interested in learning more about this. Or yeah, I tried to do this and it didn't work, but you're open to a call. And if I get 50% of those people that engage on a post, now I got to book an appointment. I just got 2 appointments just from the dialogue, and because I shared thought leadership. If I do that 3 times a week, I mean, I'm getting appointments, and people are coming to me. I'm doing work, but people are coming to me. I'm attracting them to me because I'm focusing on the problems that they have. And you want to figure out problems that your prospect have? Again, go back to your sales calls and think about some of the questions that they're asking, or think about the issues that come up in the discos, or go to Reddit and they'll tell you there exactly. But you're talking like the thing that I find though, even though I might say humans are not like Severin, the Severance idea that they're just in they're just a dumb a role that's waiting to bite on the hook because they just see any hooks and just bite on it like a fish. These are thoughtful human beings that are out there, but the thing that they're doing, they are looking for those insights, and they're looking for things that they have problems with. And the more than often, the problem that one of them has is the same problem that the others have, because of just the human behavior, the way that we behave. Like it's not like one VP of sales who's having trouble with LinkedIn is going to be just totally unique. Their team is probably having the same problems, and the other companies having the same problem, because I just found out some of the data, like 50 for more than 60% of them said they're going to get a pitch in the second email. Therefore, that makes a good post in the second interaction. Therefore, that makes a good post for me to do, like I just did. And now that is going to attract more of them. So the point I'm trying to get at is share content they're more likely to look at and to engage with. They come to you. You're doing phone calls, you're doing emails, and the other 2 or the other 5 that people that engage on that post I didn't get a conversation with, I'm going to do a phone call to them, because they're more than likely people that are engaging with my stuff. I can pull up my, if I'm using Apollo or Zoom Info, and I can find them and do a phone call, and I can lead in with that. Hey, Marcy, this is Donald from LinkedIn. I'm not sure if you saw me there before. Yeah, I'm with XYZ company. I was on LinkedIn and shared a post and saw you engaged on it, and curiosity led me down a rabbit hole, and voila. But now that person I can at least have a conversation with, and they're going to have dialogue. Dialogue is going to lead to opportunities. I've been going at it for a little bit, and I'm going to take a break, and I'm going to come back on the next episode, because I just hope you get the principle. The principle I'm getting here at is that, 1, the straight up pitch is not working. It doesn't work, and it will not work. 2, I need you to engage and communicate with people. 3, I need you to share stuff. And then I'm going to give you a couple more insights on the next episode. I'm going to give you right now it's about 3 other ideas that you can do on LinkedIn to be able to get people's attention and get appointments. So I'm going to give you be very specific with those. So those 3 others I'm going to tell you about in the next episode. So as always, I want you to connect with me on LinkedIn, and I want you to be able to tell me what's working for you. More importantly, I'm doing this podcast for several reasons. I'll be frank with you and straight up. 1, I want to help you, because I know when I was in your shoe as a quota carrying sales rep, or as a leader trying to get opportunities to drum up stuff for their team on things that are working, I didn't have it. So I want to provide that as a resource. 2, I want to jump business for my organization. I want to get business, because some of you are listening to this. You're going to say, Donald, I'm interested in your course, and I want to get you to help my team. So naturally, that's going to happen. But I have to bring value like this to the table and give you a bunch of amazing free stuff that you're going to say this works, and then you're going to come and pay for the other stuff. And then 3, because it's fun. It's just really cool. I want you to be able to gain some opportunities. I want you to build pipeline. I want you to raise your level of thinking. I want you to go out and do big things. I'm going to drink my water, and I'm going to see you on the next one.